Hello there, and welcome to Deep Sleep Science. I'm so glad you found your way here. Tonight, as the world outside softens into shadow and the last threads of daylight slip quietly beneath the horizon, I invite you to lay down every weight you have been carrying. Let your shoulders melt into the pillow beneath you. Let your hands rest, open and unhurried, like petals drifting on still water. Let your breath grow long and slow, the way distant waves roll gently onto a moonlit shore. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. Only this quiet moment wrapped around you like a warm, familiar blanket woven from the softest starlight. Tonight, we will travel somewhere extraordinary together. We will drift, slowly and gently, through the vast velvet mystery of dark matter, that invisible ocean that fills the universe, the silent, unseen presence that holds galaxies together like a mother cradling a sleeping child. It is everywhere and nowhere. It surrounds us, passes through us, whispers between the stars, and yet we have never truly seen it. It is the great, tender secret of the cosmos. As you settle deeper into your pillow, I would love for you to consider gently tapping the like button and subscribing to Deep Sleep Science. Not now, not with any urgency. Perhaps tomorrow, when the sun has risen softly and you feel rested. It helps these quiet journeys reach other weary travelers searching for stillness. And now, let your eyelids grow heavy, like snow settling on a sleeping forest. Let the room around you dissolve into soft, warm darkness. Let your thoughts drift outward, beyond the ceiling, beyond the rooftops, beyond the clouds, up into the waiting arms of the night sky. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out even more slowly. And let's begin this slow and soothing journey together into the gentle, sleeping heart of the cosmos. Imagine, for a moment, that you are floating upward on the softest breeze, rising gently, weightlessly, through layers of warm air and drifting cloud. The world grows smaller beneath you, quieter, until all you can hear is the slow, steady rhythm of your own peaceful breathing. Above you stretches an endless velvet sky, freckled with sleeping stars, and woven invisibly between every star, every galaxy, every quiet corner of the cosmos, is the great gentle mystery we have come to meet tonight. Let your body rest. Let your mind drift, and let us begin, softly, with our very first whisper from the dark. Long, long ago, before there were eyes to see or voices to wonder, the universe was already humming with a secret. A quiet presence, soft as breath, wove itself through the emptiness between stars. Scientists would one day call it dark matter, but it had no name then. Only a gentle waiting stillness. Imagine it now, drifting like invisible silk across the vast velvet of space. It does not shine, it does not glow, it does not sparkle like the diamonds of distant suns, and yet it is there, tenderly, patiently, holding everything in its soft embrace. 5 times more abundant than all the glittering matter we can see. Imagine 5 invisible oceans for every one ocean of light. The universe, you know, is only a small lantern floating in a much, much larger sea. And that sea is calm tonight. Calm and deep, and cradling you softly. If you were to gather every star, every planet, every grain of cosmic dust, every wandering comet and sleeping moon, all of it would weigh only a small fraction of the universe. The rest, the great invisible rest, drifts quietly as dark matter. Picture a vast, still lake beneath a silver moon. The ripples you see on the surface, glimmering and alive, are the galaxies. but beneath them lies the deep, silent water that makes the lake possible. That hidden depth is the dark matter. It does not rise to the surface. It does not seek attention. It simply holds everything gently, the way the ocean holds a sleeping whale. Tonight, as you breathe in slowly and breathe out even more slowly, imagine yourself sinking into that quiet depth, weightless, unhurried, carried by something unseen but infinitely kind. You are resting inside the softest secret of the cosmos. The first whisper of dark matter came not from a telescope, but from a puzzle. Long ago, astronomers noticed that galaxies were spinning faster than they should, much faster, as if invisible hands were holding them together, keeping their edges from flying away like leaves in an autumn wind. Imagine a great spinning carousel of light, so fast it should have scattered into the night. And yet it stayed whole, perfectly whole, cradled by something no eye could find. Scientists leaned closer to their notebooks, listening carefully to the slow music of the stars, and realized the universe was hiding something gentle and enormous, something that embraced every galaxy like a grandmother's shawl. Nothing had been lost, nothing had flown away. The invisible hands were always there, and always had been, holding the cosmos tenderly in place while everything danced. A soft-spoken astronomer named Fritz Zwicky was among the first to sense this tender mystery. In the gentle hush of the 1930s, he studied a cluster of galaxies and noticed that the galaxies moved too quickly for the light within them alone to keep them together. He imagined a great, silent companion, an unseen cloud of something more, wrapping the cluster in its quiet arms. He called it dunkel materie, dark matter. The words sound like a lullaby whispered in an old language. Dunkel materie, soft and round and full of wonder. Though few listened at first, the idea settled in the corners of astronomy like a patient visitor, waiting for the world to notice. And slowly, over decades, the world did notice. Tonight, let that same patience settle into you. You do not need to rush. Like dark matter, some of the most beautiful things simply wait, softly, to be found. Many years later, a kind and curious woman named Vera Rubin looked up at the stars and saw the same gentle mystery blooming again. She watched galaxies spin, measured their rhythms, and listened closely to what they were telling her. Their outer edges turned as calmly and steadily as their glowing centers, as if each galaxy were floating inside a great invisible bowl of something warm and steady. She did not shout her discovery. She described it softly, carefully, like someone telling you about a dream that had not quite faded. Her quiet work gave the world a clearer picture of the invisible ocean all around us. Tonight, imagine Vera beneath a quiet desert sky, her telescope pointed gently upward, her breath slow, her heart wide open. She is listening. The universe is answering, and you, drifting into sleep, are listening too, to a story that has been whispering for billions of years. Dark matter does not touch the light. Light passes through it the way a soft song passes through an open window. No shadow, no shimmer, no reflection. Imagine holding a lantern in a meadow at night. Your lantern brightens every blade of grass, every dewdrop, every petal. But the air around you, vast and clear, accepts the light without holding it. Dark matter is like that air, but deeper still. It lets starlight flow freely through its quiet body, never catching, never bending its glow, and yet it shapes the cosmos in grand, tender ways. It is a presence without a footprint, a breath without a voice. As you rest, imagine the gentle air in your room passing through dark matter at this very moment. Billions of quiet particles drifting through you, around you, between every thought. Soft, silent, kind. You are not alone in the dark. You never were. Though dark matter is invisible, its fingerprints are everywhere. Scientists can see the way it bends the path of starlight, as if the light were drifting gently around a sleeping giant. This bending is called gravitational lensing. Imagine a warm pond on a still summer evening. You drop a small pebble into the water, and the ripples curve outward, softly distorting the reflection of the moon. Dark matter does something gentler, slower, and infinitely larger. It curves the fabric of space itself, so distant starlight seems to swim around unseen shapes. Entire galaxies appear stretched, smeared, arched like silver brushstrokes painted across a canvas of deep violet. Astronomers look at these soft curves and smile because they know what is there, even though no one has ever seen it. Tonight, imagine starlight bending tenderly around you too as you drift into sleep. The universe itself is leaning gently in your direction. In the heart of the Milky Way, our own sleeping galaxy, dark matter drifts in a vast, soft halo. Imagine a great silver cloud shaped like a round, resting pearl, with the bright spiral of stars glowing quietly within. The halo is many times larger than the galaxy itself. It extends far beyond the farthest visible star, reaching into the calm emptiness of deep space like the gentle hem of a very long gown. Our sun, our earth, our moon, and every planet you know, all float peacefully inside this halo, cradled by its quiet weight. Right now, as you breathe slowly, you are inside it. You have always been inside it. The halo hums softly around you, invisible, enormous, patient. It asks nothing from you, it only holds. Feel the softness of that thought settle over your shoulders, warm as a pool of moonlight, poured gently into a still room. Dark matter does not clump the way ordinary matter does. It does not form stones or oceans or trees or bones. It drifts, it pools, it gathers in wide, gentle clouds. Imagine a slow mist rolling across a quiet valley at dawn. You cannot hold it in your hands, yet it softens every hillside, every meadow, every rooftop it passes. Dark matter behaves a little like that, spreading its gentle presence in vast invisible clouds that stretch across millions of light years. These clouds do not crash, they do not burn, they do not rush, they simply drift, held in place by their own quiet gravity. And inside their soft folds, galaxies bloom like wildflowers in spring. Imagine each galaxy as a small bouquet resting inside a larger, invisible vase. Tonight you are resting inside a vase of your own, safe, still, cradled in a gentle mist of the unseen. If you could watch the universe grow from its quiet beginning, dark matter would be the first to speak. While the hot, bright matter was still too restless to settle, dark matter was already drifting into soft, sleeping shapes. Slowly, it sank into gentle valleys of gravity, forming a vast, branching pattern that scientists call the cosmic web. Imagine the delicate veins of a leaf, or the glowing tendrils of an old tree seen from high above. The cosmic web is something like that, made of long, whisper-thin filaments of dark matter stretching across the universe. Where the strands meet, galaxies were born, quietly, like dew gathering on a spider's web at dawn. You are resting inside that great glowing lacework now, held softly at one of its shining intersections. Breathe in gently, breathe out even more gently. The universe is woven from something kind, and you are part of its tender pattern. The cosmic web is older than any star you have ever seen. Its gentle strands were drawn long before the first galaxy opened its eyes. Imagine an artist painting softly in the dark, laying down faint silver threads across an endless black canvas, threads so delicate you can barely see them. Then, over billions of quiet years, tiny lanterns begin to bloom along those threads, one by one, until the whole canvas glows like a meadow full of fireflies. That is how galaxies arrived, gathering along the pathways dark matter had already prepared. Nothing was rushed, nothing was forced. The universe grew like a slow garden in gentle hands. Tonight, imagine yourself resting at a soft crossroad of that silver web. Above you, galaxies hum. Below you, the strands continue into the deep. All around you, a slow, tender patience, older than time. You are home, in a home older than homes. Sometimes dark matter is described as a cloud, sometimes as a web, and sometimes as a gentle ocean. Each image is only part of the truth. The universe is soft enough to hold many metaphors at once. Picture a vast, warm sea at midnight. You are floating on your back, your ears just beneath the surface, your breath rising and falling slowly. The water is so calm it feels like silk. Schools of bright fish glide past, bright as galaxies gleaming with quiet light. But the sea itself is the greater presence. Endless, patient, alive in a way that does not demand to be noticed. That is dark matter, the quiet sea in which all shining things drift. You do not have to understand it, you only have to float. Let your breath grow long, let your body settle. The sea will carry you all night, with tenderness beyond counting. There is a kind of dark matter that scientists call cold. Not cold like winter, not cold like ice, but cold in the gentlest sense, moving slowly, almost without hurry. Imagine a field of snow beneath a pale blue twilight. The flakes drift downward so softly you can barely see them fall, settling quietly on rooftops and windowsills. Cold, dark matter moves with that same tender pace through the vast rooms of the cosmos. Its slowness is what allowed galaxies to gather. If it had rushed, the universe would have felt restless. But it did not rush. It drifted, it settled, it rested, and because of that gentle rest, stars were born and planets and oceans and meadows and you. Tonight let yourself rest with that same coldness, that same softness. Drift slowly through your pillow, slowly through the night. The slowest things in the universe built the most beautiful things of all. Some scientists once imagined a warmer kind of dark matter, a more playful one, moving faster through the dark. But the universe we live in seems to prefer the quiet version. It seems the cosmos grew best in stillness. Imagine two ponds side by side. One is stirred by a gentle wind, and nothing can settle on its surface. The other is glass smooth, mirroring the stars perfectly. In the still pond, the moon is reflected whole and tender. In the restless one, the moon is scattered into 1,000 glimmers. Our universe is the still pond, and dark matter is its stillness. Everything beautiful needed that quietness to grow. Even you tonight are made from billions of years of stillness. Your breath, your heartbeat, your dreams, all are echoes of the universe choosing calm over noise. Let that choice repeat itself in you now. Softly, with every slow breath you take, tiny ripples in the early universe, no louder than a whisper, became the seeds of everything we see today. Dark matter felt those whispers and gathered around them, like moths drawn softly toward a candle. Imagine a pond at dusk and a single leaf touching its surface. The ripples widen, slowly, gently, outward. Dark matter moved like that, pooling around the tiniest differences in the young cosmos. Where it pooled more densely, gravity pulled ordinary matter in, and stars began to glow. Where it pooled less, great empty voids were born, silent gardens of near-nothingness. The whole structure of the universe, every galaxy, every emptiness, every glittering cluster, began from whispers softer than your own breath tonight. You are part of that gentle lineage. Your quiet breath tonight is also a ripple, drifting outward into the dark. Someone, somewhere, may be listening. And the universe is listening too. The places where dark matter gathers most tenderly are called halos. Imagine a grove of glowing lamps, each one wrapped in a soft cloud of silver mist. The mist is the halo, the lamp is the galaxy. Galaxies live inside their halos the way a candle flame lives inside its lantern, shielded, steadied, kept bright by the quiet presence wrapped around it. Our Milky Way has a halo so large that it extends far beyond the farthest star we can see. If you could paint it, it would look like a soft round cloud of pale moonlight, with a glowing spiral nestled at its heart. Inside that halo, the sun drifts patiently, and Earth orbits with it, and you in your bed drift too. Let the image settle over you. You are a small flame inside a soft halo, inside a larger halo, inside the quiet lantern of the night. Dark matter halos form first, and galaxies settle into them later, like birds finding nests already built in a quiet forest. The halos came first. They waited patiently. They opened their arms, and the gas of the young universe drifted in, cooled, glowed, and became the first stars. Imagine a great silent ballroom, its chandeliers dimmed, its floor polished by time. For a long while, no one is there. The room simply waits, ready, warm, willing. Then, softly, slowly, dancers arrive, filling the room with gentle music and soft light. Galaxies were the dancers, halos were the ballroom, and the ballrooms are still there, older than the dancers, older than the music. Tonight, your room is a kind of ballroom too, waiting patiently to hold your rest. The walls are gentle, the ceiling is kind. The dark around you is already prepared to cradle you all night long. Galaxies are not alone in their halos. Smaller galaxies, called satellites, drift quietly around them, held softly by the same invisible embrace. Our Milky Way has many such gentle companions. The large and small Magellanic clouds glow like pale lanterns in the southern sky, wandering slowly around us, guided by dark matter like gentle ships by a lighthouse. Further out, smaller dwarf galaxies drift even more softly, so faint most eyes cannot see them. Yet they are there, drawn in by the quiet pull of our halo. Imagine a great mother elephant walking slowly across a moonlit savanna, her little ones following close beside her. Our galaxy is something like that. Unhurried, protective, patient. Tonight you are one of the little ones too, resting beside something vast and gentle that watches over you without words. There is no need to walk. There is no need to wander. You are home. Long before galaxies came together, dark matter drifted through a very young, very warm universe. The cosmos was filled with a gentle glow, like the last embers of a fire that had burned softly for a long time. Ordinary matter could not yet settle. It danced too brightly, too warmly, scattering light in all directions. But dark matter, quieter and calmer, was already beginning to fold itself into soft shapes. It moved like a slow river beneath a glowing sky. Its pathways were the first maps of the universe to come. By the time the bright fog cleared and the first starlight escaped into space, dark matter had already drawn the paths galaxies would follow. Tonight, imagine a warm river flowing quietly beneath a dawn sky, its surface misted with golden light. That is the young universe, and its silent river was already tracing the gentle roadways of everything that would be. The ancient glow of the early universe still hums softly around us today. Scientists call it the cosmic microwave background. It is a whisper of warmth left over from the universe's first breath, stretched across the sky like a vast, soft blanket. When scientists measure this whisper, they find gentle patterns inside it, small warm spots and small cool spots, like the faint pattern of a well-loved quilt. Dark matter helped shape those patterns, pressing tenderly on the early light, leaving small fingerprints of its presence. Imagine lying beneath a quilt your grandmother made long ago, tracing its gentle patterns with a sleepy finger. The universe wraps you in a quilt like that tonight, a quilt 13 billion years old, still warm, still humming. Every small pattern in that quilt is a memory of dark matter, softly, tenderly, reaching across the ages to tuck the whole cosmos in. Somewhere far above you, drifting through the deep quiet of space, countless dark matter particles are passing gently through the earth right now. They pass through mountains, through oceans, through sleeping cities, through the pages of every open book. They pass through the glass of your window, through the warm blanket draped across your body, through the soft beat of your heart. They do not disturb anything. They do not bruise or bend a single thread of who you are. They travel the way a dream travels through the night, softly, silently, leaving no footprints behind. Imagine a gentle snowfall made of something even finer than snow, so fine it falls through everything, touching nothing, yet touching everything. You are not penetrated. You are simply visited. Billions of these quiet visitors have passed through you since you laid your head on the pillow tonight, each one a whisper from the cosmos saying, "Sleep, now, sleep." Scientists build great cathedrals of stillness deep underground, hoping to listen for dark matter as it passes. In caves buried far below the surface, in old mines turned into laboratories, they keep quiet chambers cooled almost to absolute rest. Imagine descending slowly in a small lantern-lit elevator, down through layers of stone, down into a hidden chamber where every sound has been gently brushed away. The walls are lined with soft instruments, each one waiting patiently, like a child listening for the first note of a lullaby. Every now and then, a quiet flicker may appear, perhaps a passing particle, perhaps only the heartbeat of the rock itself. The scientists are not impatient. They understand that some things arrive softly in their own time. Tonight you are waiting softly too, for sleep. It will come as gently as those particles. It is already on its way. It is already here. Dark matter may be made of particles that no one has yet held in their hand. They do not appear in any ordinary recipe of the cosmos. They are not electrons, not protons, not any of the familiar building blocks we know by name. They are something more quiet, something waiting patiently to be understood. Imagine a garden hidden behind a tall wooden door. Through the cracks in the wood, you can feel a gentle breeze and smell the scent of unknown flowers. You cannot yet see the flowers themselves, but you can feel with certainty that the garden is there. Scientists stand at that gate, smiling softly, leaning toward the cracks, breathing in the quiet perfume of mystery, and behind the gate, the flowers wait, tenderly, in no hurry at all. You too can rest tonight at a gentle gate, knowing that not every secret needs to be opened to be loved. One candidate for dark matter is called the WIMP, a gentle acronym for weakly interacting massive particle. The name is quiet, almost shy, like a small creature that prefers to live in soft corners of the forest. WIMPs are thought to move softly through the cosmos, rarely brushing against anything, rarely leaving a sign. Imagine a small animal with fur as soft as moonlight, stepping silently between trees at night, never disturbing a single leaf. That is the spirit of a WIMP. It does not announce itself, it does not demand attention. It simply drifts through the forest of the universe on its own quiet path. Scientists leave soft traps in hidden places, hoping one day a WIMP might pause and leave a tiny footprint. It has not happened yet, but that is the beauty of patience. Some guests arrive only when the house has grown very still, and your house is growing still now. Another gentle candidate for dark matter is called the axion, a particle so light it is almost a breath. If WIMPs are like soft-footed animals, axions are like the faintest music. They are imagined as impossibly tiny whispers drifting through the universe, singing a note so quiet that no ear has ever caught it. Some scientists build great copper cavities and careful magnets, hoping to turn one of these whispers into a faint, gentle glow. Imagine a small garden bell hung from a willow branch. A wind so light touches it that it does not quite ring, and yet somewhere between silence and sound, a note almost forms. Axions, if they exist, live in that tender space between hearing and not hearing. Tonight, let your breath be like that whispered note. Gentle, almost inaudible. A music made only for the kindest corners of the cosmos to hear. Dark matter may not be a single thing at all. It may be a family, a soft community of different particles, each drifting through the universe with its own quiet personality. Imagine a small village at the edge of a calm lake where every house is lit by a different kind of lamp. Some lamps glow warm amber, some shimmer silver, some flicker green like new leaves. Together they fill the evening with a patchwork of gentle light. Perhaps the dark matter universe is something like that, not one voice, but a choir of voices singing at frequencies we have not yet learned to hear. Scientists keep their windows open, listening patiently for the whole song. Tonight, you are also listening softly to your breath, to the quiet around you, to the gentle rhythm of your resting heart. The cosmos is multiple, it is plural, and all of it is singing you to sleep. Some scientists wonder if dark matter might have its own hidden world, a sort of shadow cosmos woven softly alongside our own. In this tender idea, dark particles might feel forces we cannot touch, forming their own quiet landscapes, their own rivers, their own soft mountains. Imagine a forest with two layers. In one layer, the forest we know, with leaves and birdsong and the scent of pine. Layered over it, unseen, a mirror forest made of something gentler, where silver trees sway in a breeze no human skin can feel. Neither forest disturbs the other. They simply share the same space, breathing together in peaceful company. Whether or not this shadow world exists, the thought is soft and sweet. You sleep beside many mysteries, some unseen, some unheard. Tonight, let that thought comfort you. There are more gentle companions in the dark than you will ever know, and none of them mean anything but kindness. Dark matter rarely, if ever, collides with itself. Particles drift past each other like polite guests at a slow, tender party. No bumping, no jostling, no friction. Imagine an old moonlit ballroom where everyone glides across the floor without ever touching another soul. Dresses pass through dresses. Shadows slip through shadows. There is a strange and lovely grace to it. This is why dark matter does not form solid objects the way ordinary matter does. It cannot build a planet. It cannot build a stone. It does not collect into nests of warmth. But it can hold entire galaxies with the gentlest pull, as if holding the hand of every star at once. Tonight, imagine your own thoughts drifting like that, slipping past one another without colliding, without clinging. Let each thought pass through the next, peacefully, softly. There is no need to hold anything tightly. Nothing is leaving. All is well. Sometimes galaxies collide with one another. It is not a violent crash, but a slow, graceful dance across millions of years. And when they meet, their ordinary matter slows and glows, heated by the gentle friction. But their dark matter halos simply drift through each other, untouched and unbothered, like two mists passing softly in a moonlit valley. Astronomers have seen this in a place called the Bullet Cluster, two great groups of galaxies meeting tenderly in the deep. Their bright matter colliding, their dark halos gliding onward unchanged. It is a soft proof that dark matter is real and quiet and strangely elegant. Imagine two wide sighs meeting in the air. Their warmth mingles briefly. Their soft mist passes through. Neither is broken, neither is bruised. That is how dark matter meets itself, with grace, with calm. Tonight, let every part of you pass through itself gently, the way two mists agree to share the air. Every galaxy you have ever seen in a photograph is wrapped in a soft, invisible halo. The great spiral of Andromeda, our silver neighbor, drifts inside a halo many times wider than its arms. The glowing whirlpool called Messier 51, painted with blue and gold, rests in a halo of its own. Even the tiny, faint dwarf galaxies scattered across the sky, no brighter than distant candles, are cradled in halos disproportionately vast. In fact, the smallest galaxies often hold the most dark matter of all. Imagine a little bird held inside an enormous cupped hand, the hand much, much larger than the bird. That is what the smallest galaxies look like to the inner eye of an astronomer. Tonight, you too are the small bird. The night is the cupped hand, and the stars and the galaxies and the quiet dark matter halos beyond them are all, without you even needing to ask, gently holding you. In the quiet spaces between galaxies, dark matter does not vanish. It thins gently, like mist over a wide meadow at dawn. It fills the vast emptiness with a soft, steady presence, so the universe is never truly empty anywhere. Imagine walking through a great open field just before sunrise. The grass is silver with dew. The air feels slightly cool and tender on your skin. There is no one else there, yet the field does not feel lonely. The mist keeps you company. It brushes softly around your ankles. It drifts through the space between one blade of grass and the next. That is the between places of the cosmos. No galaxy, no star. Only a fine, quiet dark matter mist, patient and unhurried. Tonight, imagine yourself walking barefoot through that gentle field. The mist does not chill you, it warms you. And the meadow stretches on and on, softly, into a sleep wider than night. Galaxy clusters are among the largest, gentle gatherings in the universe. Enormous communities of galaxies held together by dark matter. Some clusters contain hundreds, even thousands of galaxies, all drifting softly in a shared halo like a great floating garden. Imagine a pond filled with 1,000 water lilies, each blooming quietly, each swaying just slightly in a tender current. The pond itself is the halo, the lilies are the galaxies. None of the lilies know the others intimately, yet all of them are held by the same calm water. Without the dark matter halo, the galaxies would drift apart, wandering alone into the deep. But the halo keeps them close, like an old friend keeping everyone gathered around the same warm table. Tonight, imagine yourself beside such a pond. The water is still. The lilies are softly glowing, and the halo, invisible and vast, keeps everything, including you, beautifully together. One of the most tender discoveries in modern cosmology is that dark matter does not only gather around galaxies, it runs between them in long, delicate bridges. Imagine a quiet garden with 2 glowing lanterns, and between them a thin silver thread of spider silk catching the moonlight. The thread connects them. It lets the lanterns breathe with one another. Galaxies are linked in the same way, through soft dark matter filaments that stretch across millions of light years. Astronomers have mapped some of these bridges, and they look like the gentle veins of a leaf, endlessly branching, endlessly connecting. Nothing in the universe is truly apart, nothing is truly alone. Everything is joined by whisper-thin threads of the unseen. Tonight, imagine your own heart connected by soft threads to everyone you love, to everyone who has loved you, to the sleeping world itself. You are part of a great and tender pattern. There is a kind of sky called the galaxy supercluster, and we live inside one of them. Our supercluster is called Laniakea, a Hawaiian word meaning immeasurable heaven. It is a vast region gently held together by dark matter, a collection of thousands of galaxies all drifting toward a gentle gathering point called the Great Attractor. Imagine a wide, warm valley where many quiet rivers flow softly toward the same sea. Our Milky Way is one of those rivers. The dark matter is the slope of the valley, and the Great Attractor is the faraway sea, calling everything toward itself with the softest voice. We are flowing. We have always been flowing. But you do not feel the motion, for the flow of the cosmos is gentler than any earthly breath. Tonight, imagine yourself drifting softly with all those galaxies carried by invisible slopes toward a beautiful place you cannot quite see. Dark matter is older than sunlight. It existed when the universe was still a warm fog, long before atoms had fully settled into themselves. Imagine a great kitchen very early in the morning, before the lamps are lit. The air is warm. The walls are still humming with night. A pot simmers softly on the stove. No one else is awake yet. That quiet is the early universe. Dark matter drifted through that morning hush like a patient presence, slowly gathering itself into gentle shapes. Only later did sunlight come, first as a soft fog of glow, then as scattered pinpricks of stars, and finally as the full dawn of galaxies. You are resting inside a universe that is still, in a soft cosmic sense, finishing its morning. There is no rush. Dawn takes billions of years to bloom. Tonight, let your breath match that tender pace. Slow, unhurried, already home. Even without ever touching it, scientists have measured dark matter with astonishing tenderness. They watch how it bends light. They watch how it pulls on galaxies. They study the slow dance of stars at the edges of far-off spirals. With every observation, a softer, kinder understanding takes shape. Imagine trying to describe a sleeping cat in a dark room only by listening to its breathing. You cannot see the whiskers. You cannot see the folded paws, But over time you learn the rhythm, the rising and falling, the soft way it shifts in dream. You come to know the cat more intimately than sight could ever teach. That is how scientists know dark matter. They know it by its breathing, by the way it rests on the shoulders of galaxies. Tonight, let your own breathing deepen, softly, slowly. Somewhere in the universe, something kind is learning you too, by the rhythm of your rest. Some of the most graceful clues to dark matter come from the gentle arcs of starlight around distant galaxy clusters. These glowing arcs are known as Einstein rings, named after a dreamer who imagined gravity could bend light. Imagine a pebble thrown softly into a still pond, and how the ripples spread in perfect, patient circles. Now imagine those ripples made of light itself, arched tenderly around unseen centers of mass. Some rings are so complete they look like delicate silver rings laid against black velvet. Others are soft, half arcs like distant eyelashes closing in sleep. Every ring is a love note from dark matter, a quiet message saying, "We are here tonight." Imagine gentle rings of light curving around your room, softly wrapping your ceiling, your walls, your sleeping body. The geometry of the universe is curving lovingly in your direction. Every curve of that light says, "Rest, rest, rest." In some especially beautiful images from space, entire galaxies appear as smeared crescents of gold curved around dark centers, as though a painter had drawn them with a soft, sleepy brush. These are called strong gravitational lenses. Dark matter, gathered in great amounts, bends the light of far, far more distant galaxies as it passes. The images we see are not the galaxies themselves in their true shape. They are gentle echoes, stretched and softened by the unseen. Imagine looking at a candle flame through a quiet curtain of warm water. The flame becomes an amber crescent, a tender smudge of gold, yet it is still the same candle, still the same quiet light. Far across the cosmos, small galaxies are still glowing in their own corners. We only see them gently blurred, as if peered at through sleepy eyes. Tonight, your eyes too are softly blurring. The world is curving gently. Sleep is near. The universe we live in is flat, in a special cosmic sense. Its great geometry spreads out smoothly, like a vast sheet of silk stretched across a quiet room. Dark matter and dark energy together keep this gentle flatness intact, balancing the universe with exquisite softness. If there were a little more, the silk would curl inward. If there were a little less, it would fall loose. But instead, everything rests in a delicate, tender balance. Imagine the bedsheet over you tonight, settling just right, not too heavy, not too light. That is the shape of the whole cosmos. A sheet finely tuned, carefully laid, gently smoothed by the great quiet hands of physics. Beneath that sheet, you are nestled in the exact center of a universe made for rest. The mathematics of the stars is also the mathematics of your sleep. Everything is arranged, kindly, precisely, so that you may drift away. Dark matter does not decay, at least not noticeably, over the vast lifetimes of galaxies. It stays quietly, like a patient friend who does not leave. Ordinary matter crumbles, stars burn out, planets cool, but dark matter drifts on through the ages, changing its shape only in the slowest, softest ways. Imagine a wise old grandmother sitting at the window of an ancient house. The decades pass. Children grow, move away, return, grow older themselves. But the grandmother stays, humming the same tender song. Dark matter is a bit like her, watching the universe grow through soft, steady eyes. It was there when the first galaxies bloomed. It will be there when the last stars dim. Nothing is taken from it by time. Tonight, rest in the thought of that loyalty. The invisible hands holding the cosmos tonight are the same hands that held it long before you were born. Galaxies rotate, slowly and gracefully, like great silver wheels turning in a quiet field. Their inner stars move quickly, their outer stars more slowly, but not as slowly as scientists once expected. At the edges of each galaxy, Stars still turn at surprising, tender speeds, as though they were being carried along by an invisible current. That current is the breath of dark matter. Imagine standing in a calm river, the water flowing softly around your ankles. Even if you did not move a step, the river would carry a fallen leaf gently forward. Stars at galaxy edges float on just such a river. Without it, they would drift outward alone, losing the company of their home. Instead, they remain, turning and turning, held by the gentle flow. Tonight, let yourself drift in your own quiet current. You are not moving, yet everything is moving. You are held, you are carried, you are safe. Deep inside every galaxy lies a supermassive black hole, a silent, heavy presence at the very center. Though black holes are not dark matter themselves, they share the dark matter's gentle habit of being mostly unseen. They sleep at the heart of galaxies, cradled in dark matter halos, cradled within cradles. Imagine a quiet room nested inside a larger quiet room, both tucked inside a still, moonlit house. That is how galaxies are built. Soft layer within soft layer, hush within hush. At the deepest center, the black hole breathes slowly, content in its own stillness. Around it, stars swirl around them. Dark matter drifts, and somewhere on the edge of a small spiral arm, a little blue planet carries you to bed. Tonight, imagine yourself as the softest center of your own quiet room, wrapped in layers of calm. Every layer, near or far, is keeping you gently. Some dark matter may have been born in the very first blink of time. In a moment so short it makes the briefest human breath feel like a whole lifetime. Scientists call this earliest moment the inflation era, when the universe expanded softly and vastly in a single tender instant. Imagine a delicate silk scarf unfolding in a single graceful motion, opening across a quiet table in one smooth gesture. The universe unfolded like that, stretching out its quiet fabric, and the dark matter within it stretched along like gentle threads in a new, wide cloth. Tonight, imagine your own body unfolding softly against your bed. Your shoulders relax, your palms rest, your chest rises and falls like gentle silk. The universe began with one beautiful soft movement. Your night can begin that way too. One soft exhale, one settling of limbs, one quiet unfolding into rest. Let it be simple, let it be kind. Scientists sometimes imagine the early universe as a warm pot of soup, gently simmering. The bright matter rose to the surface as steam, becoming the hot plasma that would later cool into atoms. The dark matter settled softly to the bottom, becoming the patient base of everything. Without the dark matter, the soup would have been too thin. Galaxies would never have gathered into warm, clustered meals. With it, the cosmos thickened into soft, beautiful shapes. Imagine stirring a mild evening soup in a quiet kitchen, the steam rising tenderly, the room full of soft light. That is what the early cosmos looked like in a kind of poetic sense. Warm, fragrant, patient, preparing itself for all the things it would become. You are one of those beautiful things. Your body is soup-born, galaxy-born, dark matter nestled. Tonight rest inside the warm kitchen of the universe. The soup is ready. The night is ready. You are ready. Modeling the universe on great, quiet computers is one of the kindest ways scientists explore dark matter. They run slow simulations, letting virtual galaxies grow across billions of simulated years. They watch the cosmic web form softly, filaments and halos rising on the screen like frost forming on a window. Imagine a quiet morning in winter, and the way frost tenderly blooms across the glass, each crystal unfurling in perfect calm. That is how simulated galaxies appear. One soft node after another, unfurling into a vast, delicate lacework. And the patterns match what we see in the real night sky, which tells us that dark matter is truly there, drawing the frost. Tonight, imagine soft frost forming gently on your window pane. Each crystal, each feathered edge, traces a cosmic pattern older than the world. Sleep arrives in just such patterns, slowly unfolding across your mind, quietly blooming into dreams. Dark matter sometimes moves more quickly than expected, especially in the outer edges of galaxy clusters. In these places, it drifts a little faster, a little looser, like the hem of a long gown trailing softly across a stage. Yet even in those outer regions, the motion is gentle, patient, slow, compared to the speeds of bright particles. Imagine an old waltz, danced at a tender tempo, where the dancer's arms drift outward in soft flowing arcs. Even the fastest motion in the cosmos is a whisper compared to the rush of earthly things. Let yourself feel that slowness now, the cosmic slowness, where even the edges of vast structures glide like graceful sleeves. Your breath can match that pace. Your heart can match that pace. Your thoughts can match that pace. Drift softly as the universe drifts. Let the hem of the great quiet gown trail across your room, touching everything gently as it passes. Some galaxies appear to have almost no dark matter at all. Astronomers were surprised to find these quiet oddities, like small islands in a great ocean that somehow escaped the tide. These galaxies drift with only the faintest halo, yet they are still peaceful, still beautiful, still glowing with their own soft light. Their very existence teaches us how tender the cosmic rules can be. Imagine a small wooden boat on a wide, calm sea, unattached to the currents, drifting by its own quiet will. These rare galaxies are something like that boat, not lost, not lonely, simply different. The universe makes room for such gentle exceptions as it does for every softness. Tonight, remember that you too may have days when you feel unusual, days when you drift in your own currents. The cosmos has a place for you in every weather, in every mood you belong, even in your differences. Other galaxies appear almost entirely made of dark matter, with only a thin sprinkle of stars inside them. These are called ultra-faint dwarf galaxies. They are small, quiet, dim, and astonishingly ancient. Some may be among the oldest galaxies still alive in the night sky. Imagine a tiny chapel in a vast, misty forest, its single candle barely visible through the trees. The forest around it, invisible, is the dark matter halo, thick and full and silent. The chapel is the small cluster of gently glowing stars. These little galaxies do not boast. They do not shine. They simply endure, tender and quiet, through billions of years. Tonight, imagine yourself as a small chapel lit by one soft candle, surrounded by a great, patient forest. You do not need to shine brightly to be cherished. The cosmos holds you for what you are, gentle, small, ancient home. When galaxies pass too close to one another, their dark matter halos can stretch and drift, reshaping softly like clouds in a summer sky. Sometimes the halos exchange a little of themselves, a tender trade of quiet gravity. Galaxies may leave the encounter slightly changed, slightly tilted, slightly softer around the edges. Imagine two people greeting each other in a dim lantern-lit garden, their sleeves brushing as they pass. A small exchange, a small tenderness, a small memory held in each sleeve's fabric. That is how galaxies meet, not with drama, but with gentle brushing, not with collision, but with soft, invisible touches. The universe itself is woven from such quiet exchanges. Every meeting leaves a small, kind pattern behind. Tonight, remember every kind meeting you have had, every small brushing of sleeves in your life. Each one has shaped you softly, and each one has made the universe a little bit gentler too. The great halos of galaxies may extend much, much farther than anyone first suspected. Our Milky Way's halo stretches so far that it brushes gently against the halo of Andromeda, our large spiral neighbor. Over billions of years, the two halos have been drawing closer, not in any forceful way, but in slow, graceful attraction. Imagine two vast silver cloaks laid out on a dark tabletop, their edges slowly, softly, reaching toward one another. That is the Milky Way Andromeda. They are not crashing. They are greeting, they are murmuring their hellos across a gentle distance. Billions of years from now, they may merge into one larger halo, weaving a greater galaxy from their soft threads. Tonight, rest in the thought of such patient kindness across space. Even the great travelers of the cosmos move slowly toward each other, with all the tenderness of a friendship that has no hurry in the world. The merging of galaxies is one of the softest choreographies in the cosmos. When they meet at last, their stars almost never collide. The spaces between stars are so vast, so airy, that the galaxies pass through each other like two flocks of birds sharing the same slow sky. Their dark matter halos meld gradually, folding together over long, quiet ages. Imagine two gentle streams flowing into a shared pool at the foot of a mossy hill. The water mingles softly without sound, without struggle, simply becoming one. That is how galaxies merge. And yet, in the soft stirring, new stars are born from gathered gas, new nurseries bloom like wildflowers after a kind rain. Tonight, remember that when two things come together with care, something new often begins. Your day and your night are meeting now in just such a gentle way. From their quiet meeting, dreams may bloom. Scientists have imagined the future of our galaxy, billions of years from now, when the Milky Way and Andromeda will have fully become one. This new softly combined galaxy has even been given a gentle imaginary name, Milkomeda. Imagine two old friends who, after walking side by side for 1,000 years, finally sit down on the same wooden bench and become something like family. The new galaxy will have a blended halo, larger and calmer, full of new patterns of slow motion. It will still hold every star, every planet, every small whisper of life. Though our human lifetimes could never witness this meeting, the thought is tender. Somewhere in the far distance of time, the galaxy we belong to is already on its way to becoming something more beautiful. Tonight, let that quiet truth comfort you. The universe is not ending. It is gathering. It is leaning in. Dark matter plays a central role in every galactic lullaby. Without it, new stars would struggle to form. With it, vast pockets of gas gather softly inside halos, cooling slowly until they begin to glow. Imagine a quiet garden pond in autumn, where fallen leaves gather gently at the edges, forming little piles that will one day soften into fresh soil. Dark matter is a bit like the shape of the pond, holding everything so that tenderness can accumulate. Inside its gentle basins, gas cools, collapses, and finally bursts into starlight. The whole process is slow, soft, patient. Nothing happens in a hurry. The universe is never in a hurry about beauty. Tonight, trust in that slow, careful pace. Your own resting body is gathering a kind of quiet light too. Recovering, softening, storing tender warmth. Your sleep is building tomorrow's gentle brightness, the way dark matter builds galaxies, unseen, patient, kind. When we look at maps of the universe drawn from dark matter, the patterns resemble something you might already know. They look like the cross-section of a sponge or the inside of a loaf of freshly baked bread with soft, airy pockets between tender walls of substance. Or they look like the delicate coral reefs deep in a quiet sea, branching everywhere, connected everywhere. Imagine a warm kitchen in the evening, a small lamp glowing over the table, a fresh loaf of bread resting on a wooden board. When you cut the loaf, the inner surface is full of soft, irregular pockets, each one gentle and tender. The universe, on the grandest scale, is shaped like that soft loaf, and you, at this very moment, are resting inside one of its kindest pockets, warm, quiet, smelling faintly of something baked long ago in a great cosmic oven. Astronomers use many tools to study the invisible. Among the kindest of these is weak gravitational lensing. This is a whisper-level bending of light, almost too gentle to notice, yet real enough to map. They study the subtle distortions in thousands of distant galaxies, piecing together soft mosaics of where dark matter lies. Imagine walking along a beach at dawn and noticing how the footprints of a sea turtle, long gone, remain faintly pressed into the sand. You cannot see the turtle. You do not need to. The prints reveal its quiet path. Dark matter leaves prints like that everywhere in the sky. Astronomers read them by lamplight, at quiet desks, in observatories high above the clouds. Tonight, as you rest, trust that the unseen leaves gentle traces. Your own presence in the world has left kind prints too, though you may not always see them. The universe sees. The universe remembers. Our galaxy is thought to travel through a vast flowing wind of dark matter, simply because the Earth and the Sun move through space. This quiet wind brushes softly against our home, never felt, never heard, never seen. Scientists call it the dark matter wind, but it is as gentle as a breeze through a sleeping garden. Imagine standing on a porch in early morning, a cup of warm tea resting in your hands, and the faintest breeze lifting a single strand of hair against your cheek. That softness is the kind of motion the cosmic wind carries. It does not shake leaves, it does not stir curtains, it only reminds us softly that we are always traveling, always in motion, even at rest. Tonight, imagine that tender breeze drifting through your room. Each soft, invisible particle passing by is saying, in its own quiet language, "Sleep well, kind traveler. Sleep well." Because of this gentle wind, some scientists hope to measure a subtle change in dark matter signals depending on the time of year. As the Earth orbits the Sun, sometimes we move with the wind and sometimes into it, like a small boat turning slowly around a calm lake. The change is tiny, barely a whisper above a whisper, but if measured, it could confirm the wind's quiet existence. Imagine a child holding a small ribbon out of a train window. Some moments the ribbon flutters forward, some moments backward, depending on the slow curves of the track. Our planet is that child holding its ribbon gently in the cosmic air, turning softly through seasons of faint cosmic breezes. Tonight, think of your own breath as a ribbon, rising and falling with the patient breeze of your own sleep. You are turning softly too, toward rest, toward stillness, toward a warmth that will carry you until morning. Among the gentlest experiments in the world are the dark matter detectors buried deep in mountains and mines. They are chambers of extreme quiet, filled with liquids so cold they resemble frozen starlight. If a dark matter particle passes through, it might leave the tiniest flicker, softer than the blink of a firefly. Imagine a small jar of ultra-pure water resting in a dim cellar, so still that even the hum of distant rain does not reach it. Now imagine a single dewdrop falling softly onto the surface, creating a ripple smaller than a pinprick. Scientists wait for ripples like that, patiently for years. They are the kindest listeners in the world. Tonight, let yourself listen too, not for signals, but for silence. For the soft presence of your own breath, for the faint, steady heartbeat resting deep inside your chest. The softest things are the most worth hearing, and the world is listening with you. Some dark matter candidates are nicknamed with almost whimsical affection. Apart from WIMPs and axions, there are MACOs, short for massive compact halo objects. These are large, quiet shadows, perhaps ancient faded stars or small dim objects scattered through galactic halos. Imagine a forest at dusk, and the slow silhouettes of old stone statues sleeping beneath tall pines. MACOs, if they exist, might be something like those quiet statues, unnoticed in the folds of the night. Though most dark matter is now believed to be something more subtle, MACOs were an early and tender guess, born from the honest wondering of astronomers. Tonight, cherish the sweetness of those early guesses. Even when they were not perfectly right, they were made with great care, offered softly, like flowers left on a quiet doorstep. The path to understanding is gentle, step by step, guess by guess, dream by dream. One of the softer possibilities is that dark matter might be made of primordial black holes, tiny black holes born in the first moments of the universe. These would not be the great roaring giants at galactic centers, but small, almost delicate travelers, drifting silently through the cosmos. Imagine a single small, round pebble tumbling slowly down a vast moonlit dune, leaving no trace, making no sound. If such gentle pebbles exist, they could account for a portion of the universe's unseen mass. Scientists are not certain, but the thought is beautiful. Even smallness has a role in the cosmos. Even the tiniest darkness may carry quiet weight. Tonight, let your smallness become a soft strength. You are not large compared to the universe, and yet you matter. Something inside you holds its own weight, its own gravity, its own quiet presence. Sleep, little pebble, sleep, small and enough. Dark matter, in some very gentle theories, may have self-interactions, meaning it might touch itself ever so lightly, though far less than ordinary matter does. Imagine feathers brushing softly against feathers, barely registering the contact, yet still leaving a faint, warm trace. If this is true, then the hearts of galaxy halos would smooth themselves out a little, becoming softer and more evenly filled, like the inside of a well-loved pillow. Some astronomers look for this gentle smoothing, comparing the cores of tiny galaxies to see if they are fluffier than expected. It is a tender line of research built on noticing soft differences that most eyes would overlook. Tonight, imagine your own pillow warming around the shape of your head, gently molding itself into perfect support. The universe, too, has its pillows, places made softer by quiet, tender interactions. You are lying inside one of those places. You are lying inside comfort itself. There may be a subtle rhythm to dark matter, a breathing pattern across cosmic time, as it rises and falls in density during the slow expansion of the universe. Some scientists imagine an almost musical structure, with long, gentle waves rippling across space. These waves, if they exist, would be so slow, so soft, that a single heartbeat of theirs would outlast every civilization. Imagine listening to the ocean from far inland, where only the faintest suggestion of its sound reaches your ears, more of a feeling than a noise. That is the possible rhythm of dark matter, the ocean of the unseen, breathing somewhere beyond hearing. Tonight, let your own breathing feel a little oceanic, in, out, slow as tides, kind as moonlight on still water. You are breathing in time with something vast, something larger than sorrow, larger than hurry, larger than any word you have ever known. Some theorists imagine dark matter as a kind of gentle fluid that flows through the universe, forming soft eddies around galaxies, small swirls inside galaxy clusters, and slow drifts in the deep intergalactic void. This fluid would not wet anything. It would not splash. Yet it would still have shape and currents, and a kind of cosmic tenderness. Imagine dipping your hand into a still pond and watching the water wrap itself around your fingers, soft as silk. Now imagine that softness stretched across billions of light years. That is how a dark matter fluid might feel, if only we could reach our hands into the great pond of the cosmos. Tonight, imagine resting your hands palm down on the sheet and feeling that gentle fluid wrap softly around each finger, each knuckle, each crease. You are touching the invisible. It is cool and calm. It does not flinch. It simply holds. In some dreams of modern cosmology, dark matter and dark energy together make up about 95% of the universe. Ordinary matter, the stuff you see, touch, and love, makes up the remaining 5%. Imagine a great moonlit orchard stretching to the horizon, where 95 trees out of every 100 are quietly invisible, though their fruit still falls softly onto the tender grass. You walk between only the 5 trees you can see, yet the orchard around you is immense, sweeter than you know. The world we can see is not all the world there is. Tonight, take comfort in that. Much of what holds your life together is quiet, unseen, gentle. The kindness of strangers you will never meet. The warmth of ancestors long gone. The soft pull of love from people you miss. Like dark matter, these invisible things cradle your life gently. Rest in their company. Sometimes dark matter is described with a beautiful phrase, the scaffolding of the cosmos. It is the soft, invisible frame on which everything bright is draped, like a silver trellis supporting a garden of luminous flowers. Every galaxy, every cluster, every bright wisp of gas is hanging gently from this scaffolding. Imagine climbing roses opening along a wooden trellis in a quiet garden at dusk. The roses glow pink and white in the fading light, But the trellis itself, humble and unshining, is what allows the blooms to spread so gracefully. Dark matter is the trellis of the heavens. It does not mind being overlooked. It is content to hold the blooms. Tonight, remember every quiet trellis in your own life, the silent supports that have kept you standing. You too have been lovingly held by things you could not always see. Let that thought unfold in you like a softly opening rose. Dark matter has a temperature in a gentle cosmic sense. Most cosmologists believe it is very cold, not cold as we feel cold, but cold in the sense of moving slowly. This coolness is essential. It allowed the delicate structures of the cosmos to settle without trembling. Imagine placing a fragile origami crane on a windowsill. If the room were windy, the crane would shiver and blow away. But in a softly sealed room with still air, the crane rests, perfectly balanced, perfectly calm. The universe needed that kind of stillness to assemble itself, and dark matter gave it. Tonight, imagine your room as one of those gently sealed spaces. The curtains hang quietly. The air is warm and patient. The origami crane of your body rests delicately on the windowsill of the bed. Nothing trembles, nothing rushes in a room. This still sleep can finally unfold its own soft wings. Sometimes, a galaxy is so rich in dark matter that the dark halo extends 20 times farther than the bright stars at its center. Picture a small lantern placed in the middle of a great peaceful pond. The lantern glows at the center, but the ripples spread outward much farther than the lantern's own light. That is how galaxies look from the perspective of dark matter. Their stars are the lantern, their halos are the ripples, and the ripples drift gently through wide, quiet waters, far beyond the candle's own glow. Tonight, imagine your own small lantern of thought resting softly at the center of a vast pond. Your worries, your wishes, your dreams, all drift outward in gentle ripples. Somewhere far out in that water, your ripples meet the ripples of stars and of galaxies and of things older than time. You are not alone in the pond. You have never been alone. Dark matter does not feel the electromagnetic force in the way that ordinary matter does. That is why it does not shine. It has no way to glow, no way to reflect, no way to send out its own light. It is silent in the language of brightness. But silence is not absence. Silence is a tender kind of speech. Imagine a garden full of flowers that do not smell, yet still bloom with immense color, still attract the slow visits of insects, still sway under the weight of morning dew. They simply speak in a different way. Dark matter speaks the language of gravity alone, and that is enough for the cosmos. Tonight, let yourself speak softly too. Let your body communicate its rest through quiet weight alone. You do not need to think. You do not need to explain. You only need to lean into the bed like a flower leaning into its own gentle gravity. If you could somehow scoop a handful of dark matter, it would feel like nothing at all. No warmth, no coolness, no texture. Your fingers would close around nothing visible and nothing felt, and yet there would be more mass in your palm than in a small piece of stone. Imagine holding a perfectly silent bird in your hands, so quiet and still that you only know it is there by its faint weight. That is the gentlest way to think about holding dark matter. A stillness with weight, a nothing that is something. A whisper that leans, ever so gently, into your palm. Tonight, imagine cupping your hands loosely above the blanket. You are holding nothing, and yet everything. The weight of your own quiet. The weight of a long day now settling. The weight of a night softly descending. All of it resting in the small, warm bowl of your hands. Even very empty regions of the universe are not truly empty. The great voids between galaxy clusters are softly filled with a thin mist of dark matter, like breath on a winter window. These voids are enormous, stretching for hundreds of millions of light years, and yet within them there is still something, still a whisper, still a gentle presence. Imagine the vast quiet of a mountain meadow at midnight, No lights, no houses, no sounds, and yet the meadow is alive with invisible breezes, distant scents, the soft warmth of sleeping soil. That is how cosmic voids feel if the cosmos had feelings. They are spacious, gentle, undemanding. Tonight, imagine resting inside one of those great silent meadows. The world has grown quiet around you, but not empty. Softness is still there. Warmth is still there. A kind presence is still there, leaning close, keeping watch through the hours of sleep. The study of dark matter is one of the quietest adventures in science. Few explorers shout, few papers arrive with fanfare. Most of the work happens in gentle rooms full of humming machines, in long patient conversations, in the soft tap-tap of keyboards late at night. Imagine a library with tall wooden shelves and a single lamp glowing warmly on an old desk. Someone is reading a letter written by a friend who lived long ago. They take their time, they sip tea, they let the meaning settle. That is what studying dark matter feels like from the inside, a tender correspondence with the universe itself. The letters are slow, the replies even slower, but every page is precious. Tonight, think of your own life as such a letter. The universe is reading you carefully, line by line, word by word. It does not skim, it savors, it loves every sentence. Some of the softest telescopes we have are not telescopes at all, but gentle machines flying high above the Earth. Satellites like Euclid drift quietly through space. Their lenses open to the oldest light. They map the shape of the universe with tender precision, tracing where dark matter lies by the faint curving of galaxy images. Imagine a kindly cartographer floating above a misty valley, drawing its rolling contours on soft paper. They do not disturb the valley. They only describe it. Euclid floats like that, describing the cosmos without ruffling a single feather of the night. Its maps will guide generations of dreaming astronomers. Tonight, imagine your thoughts as small maps too. Let them float gently above your body, describing your day without clinging to it, marking each feeling softly before letting it drift away. Some of them are valleys, some of them are hills. All of them are beautiful from above. Long ago, in the very early universe, dark matter helped set the drumbeat of creation. Scientists call these early pulses baryon acoustic oscillations, gentle ripples of sound pressed into the fabric of the young cosmos. Dark matter sat quietly at the centers of these ripples, holding the rhythm while the ripples spread outward through the glowing plasma. The pattern they left is still visible in the sky today, in the soft spacing of galaxies. Imagine a still pond at night and the quiet plonk of a raindrop making circles in the water. Those circles, frozen in memory, guide where lily pads bloom the next spring. The universe has lily pads too, galaxies growing along the slow circles of ancient ripples. Tonight, imagine each slow breath as a raindrop in your own quiet pond. The circles you make will last longer than you know. Even your stillness is making beautiful shapes in the night. The cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in the universe, is almost perfectly uniform. But within that softness, there are tiny temperature differences, whisper-fine patterns that map the density of dark matter from long ago. When scientists study these patterns, they find the universe agrees, beautifully, with the idea that dark matter quietly shaped everything. Imagine the gentle speckles on a robin's egg, each tiny mark unique, each one part of a greater tender design. The sky, at its most ancient level, looks a bit like that egg, mottled softly with the memory of dark matter's earliest breaths. Tonight, think of your pillow as a kind of egg too, holding you warmly, patterned with the dreams of nights past and nights to come. You are something gently hatching, night by night. Each sleep is another turn of the soft shell, another sweet breath, another step toward something tenderly renewed. When astronomers look at the very farthest galaxies, they see them as they appeared billions of years ago. This means the night sky is a vast, slow memory. Every point of light is a whisper from the past. Dark matter shaped those ancient galaxies then, and still shapes them now, though we only see their younger forms. Imagine opening an old family album and gently turning through its pages. Each photograph is a soft moment frozen long ago, and yet the love behind the photographs has continued, quietly, through all the years. The universe is a bit like that album. When we look outward, we are looking into a gentle history. Tonight, let yourself be soft in your own memories. Not every picture is perfect. Not every page is the same. But the warmth that runs through them, your own quiet story, is just as tender as the light of a far-off star. Because dark matter has been shaping the universe for so long, it has left fingerprints on almost every measurement we can make. The sizes of galaxy halos, the speeds of spinning disks, the gentle lensing of starlight, the distribution of clusters, the earliest temperature maps, all point softly to the same answer. Imagine a single quiet painter who walked through many villages, leaving small brushstrokes on the door of each house. Different colors, different patterns, but the same unmistakable hand. That is how the universe hints at dark matter, through soft, consistent brushstrokes left across the doorway of every cosmic structure. The painter is patient. The painter is kind. The painter is still at work. Tonight, imagine a small brushstroke of that same tender color appearing on your ceiling, blessing your room with quiet grace. You are in the painter's good company. You are part of the gentle mural of everything. Some researchers have dreamed of another kind of dark matter, made of ultralight particles that behave almost like waves across the entire galaxy. In this dream, the halo of the Milky Way would be a great, slow-standing wave, like the still surface of a vast pond humming with a single, deep note. Imagine dropping a single stone into a still lake and seeing the entire lake quiver with one wide, shared ripple. Your galaxy, in this tender theory, is like that lake. It is not made of sharp, quick particles, but of slow, oceanic hums. Scientists are still exploring this soft idea. Whether or not it proves true, the image is beautiful. A galaxy humming, a galaxy breathing, a galaxy drifting like one soft chord. Tonight, imagine your own body humming with a long, warm, low note. Your breath, your heartbeat, your sleep. All echoing a single tender sound. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Galaxy streams are another tender sign of dark matter. When small dwarf galaxies drift too close to a larger spiral, they stretch out like ribbons of stardust, pulled softly into long, glowing trails. These trails curve around the larger galaxy like necklaces of silver beads, tracing the invisible contours of its dark halo. Imagine a wide, dark pond at night, with a trail of tiny lanterns floating across its surface, curving gently around a deeper eddy. The lanterns trace the hidden shape of the water, though the water itself is unseen. Astronomers study such streams to learn the silhouette of each galaxy's halo. Tonight, let your thoughts drift like tiny lanterns on a gentle pond. Let them trace the contours of your day without holding on. Some will float outward, some will circle softly, and all will eventually blend with the deep, calm water of your sleeping mind. Some of the faintest galaxies around the Milky Way are so small that each one contains fewer stars than a small town contains windows. Yet their dark matter halos are immense, thousands of times more massive than their visible light suggests. These quiet, ghostly companions drift around our galaxy like shy kittens, tucked into the soft shadows of our halo. Imagine a warm cottage on a winter hill, and a few small kittens curled up near the doorstep, barely visible beneath the eaves. They do not ask for much, they do not demand, they simply stay, sleeping in the soft glow of the cottage window. Our tiny companion galaxies are just like that, gentle, shy, snug against the warm light of the greater Milky Way. Tonight, let yourself be a gentle companion too, curled beside the warm, soft hearth of your own breath. You are small, you are enough, you are home. Scientists have noticed that dark matter seems to fit perfectly into the great equations of cosmology, as though it were the last tender piece of a slow, careful puzzle. Without it, the numbers wobble. With it, they settle. With it, galaxies form. With it, clusters hold. With it, the cosmic web weaves itself. Imagine building a fine wooden chair and discovering that a single gentle cross brace at the back makes it feel suddenly strong. The brace is not the seat, not the legs, not the armrests. But without it, the chair could not be sat in with peace. Dark matter is the brace that allows the chair of the cosmos to hold the weight of everything we love. Tonight, imagine yourself settling into the softest chair you can picture. The kind of chair that holds you tenderly, utterly. Let its gentle brace support the whole tired weight of your beautiful day. Some scientists are exploring whether dark matter might carry a faint, almost melodic self-resonance. A very gentle internal pattern, like the soft hum of a seashell held to your ear. If this is true, there would be preferred frequencies at which dark matter would sing across the cosmos. Imagine a wide, quiet cathedral at night with no one inside. Sometimes a single note whispers through the stones, so faint you cannot tell if you are hearing it or remembering it. Dark matter might hum in that same tender way, too softly for any listener to be certain, yet real all the same. Tonight, imagine your own heartbeat as a shell held close to the universe's ear. It is a small, steady hum. It is a soft, personal note. It belongs to the wider song of the cosmos. You are not alone in singing. Even the invisible ocean is humming along with you, gently, faithfully. When dark matter clumps tenderly around the forming seeds of galaxies, it creates softly curved gravitational valleys. Into these valleys, hydrogen and helium gas drift slowly, cooling, settling, gathering. This is how stars first learned to form, how they still form today. Without the kind curves of dark matter, the gas would drift endlessly, never gathering deep enough to ignite. Imagine small streams of warm water running down a hillside into a quiet basin at the bottom. The basin is soft, round, and just deep enough for the water to pool. Over time, the basin becomes a small, glimmering pond, and in that pond, gentle lilies open. Stars are the lilies of the cosmic basin. Dark matter is the basin itself. Tonight, imagine your own body as a tender basin, gathering calm. Let breath pool into you softly. Let warmth gather quietly. From such soft pools, all beautiful things are born. One of the tenderest realizations in cosmology is that the universe is larger than any single lifetime can explore. And yet dark matter binds its distant corners together through the quiet gravity it offers everywhere. Even places we will never visit are held in the same gentle hands that hold our own galaxy. Imagine a single great blanket laid across the entire sleeping Earth, covering every mountain, every ocean, every rooftop and meadow. You do not need to walk to the far edges of the blanket to be warm. You are already warm where you are. Dark matter wraps the universe that way. You do not need to travel to its farthest reaches to be held. You are already held. You have always been held. Tonight, feel the blanket over you lengthen softly into infinity. Wherever its warm edges drift, they meet only more warm edges, more kindness, more tender rest. Even the simplest galaxies carry dark matter signatures. The humble, irregular galaxies, the messy spirals, the soft featherweight dwarfs, all drift gently within their own halos. No galaxy is too small to be loved by the cosmos. No galaxy is too faint to be held. Imagine a kind grandmother sitting by a fireplace, knitting quietly. Around her, a small circle of children of all sizes listens to her stories. Some are older, some are younger, some are shy, some are bright. She knits a little scarf for each of them, no matter how small or strange. That is how the universe treats its galaxies. Each one gets its own tender halo, no exceptions. Tonight, imagine that same kind grandmother knitting a soft, warm scarf just for you. She is choosing gentle colors. She is humming a patient tune. She places it around your shoulders, and you drift, warm and known, into sleep. Scientists sometimes speak of dark matter as being cold, but what they mean is simply that it moves slowly enough to gather. Its motion is measured in the slow turning of galaxies. Imagine a vast, quiet wheel of marble, carved long ago, turning once every many millions of years. Its rotation is far too slow to see, but its turning is real, steady, and deeply calm. That is the rhythm of cold, dark matter, something older than patience itself. Tonight, let yourself feel the slowness of your own turning. Your thoughts are marble wheels, rotating gently beneath the soft moonlight. There is no rush, there is no schedule. You may turn only once this whole night, in your own inner way, and that will be enough. That will be perfect. That will be the most graceful and tender thing you have done all day. Because slowness in its deepest form is a kind of love. In some tender dreams of theoretical physics, dark matter might connect to a mirror universe that moves gently alongside our own. In this dream, everything we know has a soft counterpart. Mirror stars, mirror planets, mirror forests, and perhaps even mirror creatures who sleep beneath their own mirror skies. We would never see them, we would never touch them, but we might feel their faint gravity like a distant lullaby. Imagine standing at the edge of a still lake at midnight and seeing your reflection, perfectly calm, gazing back. The reflection has a whole world just on the other side of the water, silent and soft. Dark matter might be that reflection's quiet, gravitational whisper. Whether or not this dream is true, the image is gentle. Tonight, imagine a kind mirror. You sleeping peacefully in a mirror bed, breathing in the same slow rhythm, wishing you the sweetest of nights. Even black holes, those great quiet giants, interact with dark matter in delicate ways. Dark matter can gather softly around a black hole's event horizon, forming what some call a dark spike. Over long, slow ages, this spike adds weight to the galaxy's tender center. It is not violent, it is not sudden. It is just another soft layer of the cosmic cake. Imagine the gentle layers inside a warm slice of honey cake, each one soft, each one sweet, each one melding tenderly with the layers above and below. The center of every galaxy is layered like that, with bright stars, slow gas, warm dust, and the quiet dark matter pressing softly around the middle. Tonight, imagine yourself as the warm center of a tender honey cake, surrounded by layers of soft blankets, soft thoughts, soft breaths. Everything around you is sweet, warm, and perfectly in place. Some galaxies dance in tight groups, pulled together by dark matter bonds. These groups are called associations, and they move softly as a family across vast distances. The Milky Way belongs to one such family, called the local group, a small tender community of galaxies drifting through the cosmos together. Imagine a family walking slowly along a country lane at evening, a lantern swinging in the tallest member's hand. The smaller members stay close. No one runs ahead, no one falls behind. They walk as one gentle line of quiet shapes. That is the local group. The Milky Way, Andromeda, Triangulum, and a small cluster of tiny dwarf galaxies, all strolling together through the slow evening of the universe. Tonight, imagine that you are walking too, in a very small, very warm family of your own thoughts. They are holding hands, they are slowing down, they are getting ready to rest. There are regions of space where dark matter thins so gently that it seems almost to vanish, though it never quite does. These regions are called cosmic voids, and they are the largest quiet rooms in existence. Some are so vast that light itself takes hundreds of millions of years to cross them. And yet, even in that immense hush, a wisp of dark matter remains, soft as breath on glass. Imagine a huge empty concert hall, long after the last song, when only the memory of music drifts between the rows of velvet seats. That is what cosmic voids feel like in their hush. They are not truly empty, only magnificently still. Tonight, imagine yourself as a quiet visitor in one of those great halls. You sit gently, you breathe gently, you listen to the memory of music, and somewhere in the soft silence, a final chord is humming only for you. The farther we look into the cosmos, the more it becomes clear that dark matter is not an oddity, not an exception. not a strange little secret. It is the norm. Most of what makes up the universe is dark, quiet, patient. The loud, bright, glittering parts are the minority. The soft, unseen majority holds everything together. Imagine a vast theater filled with a kind, patient audience. On stage, a few bright performers dance with spotlights on their faces. But the true story of the theater is not only on the stage. It is in the thousands of silent, warm-hearted listeners, breathing together, nodding gently, smiling softly in the dark. Tonight, imagine yourself as part of that great, kind audience. You do not need to perform. You do not need to shine. You only need to breathe with the others, in the softest, warmest silence, until the show of the day is over. Although dark matter makes up so much of the universe, scientists are still unsure of its exact nature, and that uncertainty itself is beautiful. It means the night sky is still full of tender questions. It means there is still mystery left for future dreamers. Imagine an old garden at the edge of a quiet forest. There are paths you know by heart, and paths you have never taken, their mossy stones disappearing gently beneath the low branches of unfamiliar trees. You may walk them one day, or someone kinder than you, someone younger, someone not yet born, may walk them instead. That is how science feels. Gardens within gardens, paths within paths, each generation discovering a few more moss-covered stones. Tonight, rest without needing to know everything. The unknown is not frightening. It is a garden not yet walked, and one day it will be. For now, it is enough to rest beneath its quiet leaves. Some of the loveliest scientific ideas are still being gently tested against the sky. Every year, new telescopes open their eyes. Every year, more starlight is softly gathered and compared with calm simulations of dark matter. The agreement is often remarkable, yet small tender puzzles still remain, enough to keep astronomers sweetly awake at their desks. Imagine a careful tailor measuring a long, soft piece of cloth, adjusting a single stitch, then pausing, then adjusting another. The garment is beautiful, but a true tailor notices the small places where thread could be refined. Cosmologists treat the universe like that, not fixing it, only refining our understanding of its already graceful lines. Tonight, imagine your own day as a soft garment being gently stitched into completion. Every little kindness was a thread. Every deep breath was a stitch. And now, finally, the tailor is putting down the needle. The work is done. You may rest. In one tender thought, the very reason galaxies feel so quiet and graceful from far away is because of dark matter's smoothing touch. Without it, galaxies would flicker, jitter, and fly apart. With it, they hold their elegant shapes across billions of years. They become the peaceful spirals, the calm ellipses, the gentle, irregular clouds that fill the long, slow photographs from our deepest telescopes. Imagine a still studio and a dancer performing a slow, gentle pirouette. Without gravity, there would be no grace. Without softness in the floor, there would be no ease. Dark matter is the hush beneath the dance floor of the heavens. It gives the cosmos its slow, elegant balance. Tonight, imagine your own stillness as a kind of graceful pose. A tender pirouette paused in midair. You do not need to move to dance. Your stillness itself is the most beautiful choreography the universe has ever seen. Dark matter, in some quiet theories, might tell us not only about space, but also about time. Its slow settling helped the cosmos mature, shaping the timeline of galaxy formation, the rise of stars, the gentle birth of planets. Without it, everything would have happened too quickly or too slowly. With it, the story of the universe unfolded with the pacing of a good, kind novel. Imagine a long, soft book being read aloud to a sleeping child. The voice of the reader paces each sentence patiently. Not too fast, not too slow. Just the tempo a tired, small heart needs. Dark matter is the pacing of the cosmos' own long tale. Tonight, imagine yourself being read to gently by the universe. Each line, each pause, each soft turning of a page is measured for your rest. You do not need to follow the story. You only need to listen and drift and sleep. Even though dark matter does not emit light, it does have a kind of quiet influence on the warmth of galaxies. Its gentle gravity allows gas to compress and cool enough to glow. Every sunrise you have ever seen, every warm summer afternoon, every candle you have ever lit, has its deepest root in dark matter's ancient gathering of gas into stars. Imagine a tiny match being struck in a dark room, filling the air with a small golden glow. That match is our sun, and somewhere behind it, far older than memory, dark matter quietly helped the match to exist. Every warm thing in your life leads back, softly, to that invisible arrangement of the early universe. Tonight, whisper a gentle thank you into your pillow. Thank you to the stars. Thank you to the sun. Thank you to the slow, dark patience that gave them their chance to burn. In one of the tenderest insights of modern cosmology, the universe seems to be expanding more rapidly in some quiet way as time goes on, driven by dark energy, while dark matter holds its clusters together. It is as though two great hands tend the cosmos. One spreads it gently outward, the other keeps its inner gardens in close embrace. Together they choreograph a slow, beautiful duet across all of time. Imagine a wide garden at dusk, where one kind gardener tenderly waters the outer fields so that new flowers may bloom, while another gardener softly prunes the inner beds so they remain lush and dense. Both gardeners are needed, both are gentle, both are loving. Tonight, imagine your whole life being tended by two such gardeners. One gently expanding your horizons, the other gently preserving your inner softness. Both are with you now. Both are wishing you a calm, sweet night. Dark matter, in a strange and lovely sense, has made our home galaxy safer. Its patient gravity keeps the Milky Way from flying apart, keeps the outer stars from drifting into the deep, keeps the familiar shape of our spiral intact. Without it, the night sky might be a very different, more scattered place. With it, the stars we know by heart remain gentle companions, night after night. Imagine a window you have opened many evenings of your life. Outside, the same old hills, the same old trees, the same familiar breeze. The view feels constant because something invisible is keeping the world in place. Tonight, let that thought become a small, tender comfort. The night sky above you is reliable. The constellations you love are still there. The cosmos did not drift apart while you were busy. It was always softly held. And so were you, each day without knowing. Some scientists believe that by watching how galaxies form throughout cosmic history, we can almost see dark matter write its own autobiography in slow motion. Each faint galaxy from the early universe is a paragraph. Each bright galaxy from today is a later chapter. Over billions of years, the book lengthens, the ink softens, the pages expand. Imagine a library of starlight, filled with pages made of soft glow, each chapter telling us how the unseen matter behaved at different epochs. The librarian is patient. The library is eternal. We are just beginning to read its first few pages. Tonight, imagine yourself holding one gentle page from that glowing book. It shines softly in your palm like a bookmark you do not want to lose. You put the page down on your nightstand. You dim the lamp. You promise to return tomorrow. And now you close your eyes. Dark matter teaches a quiet kind of humility. So much of what shapes us is invisible. So much of what holds the universe together is hidden from our senses. And yet the cosmos continues, tenderly, faithfully, even when we cannot see. Imagine a gentle breeze slowly turning the pages of an old book on a windowsill. You cannot see the breeze, you cannot touch it, you can only watch the pages turn, one after another, with soft whispers of sound. That is how dark matter works in the cosmos. Turning the pages of galaxies, turning the pages of clusters, turning the pages of eons. Tonight, let your own story be turned kindly by the invisible. You do not have to guide every page. Some pages will turn on their own, into dreams, into stillness, into rest. Let the breeze be gentle. Let the pages be light. Let sleep do the turning for you. And so our slow, tender journey through the unseen ocean comes to its last gentle wave. We have drifted through halos, threaded through cosmic webs, floated in the hush between galaxies, and rested inside the quiet lanterns of distant stars. We have listened to invisible winds, walked beside kind telescopes, and dreamed alongside the patient gardeners of physics. Dark matter holds the universe the way kindness holds a life, quietly, invisibly, without need of praise. It does not demand anything, it only gives, and gives, and gives. Tonight, imagine the entire cosmos breathing with you, softly, slowly, as though one long, warm sigh were being shared between every galaxy, every halo, every heart. You are part of that sigh. You are part of that great, gentle embrace. There is nothing left to do, there is nothing left to carry, only the warm dark, and the soft stars, and the kind rest. As our quiet journey through the invisible ocean draws softly to its close, let your body sink a little deeper into the bed. Let the blanket feel a little warmer. Let the pillow feel a little kinder beneath your cheek. The universe has been whispering to you all night, and you have been listening beautifully. Remember that dark matter is not a stranger. It has been your companion since before you were born, holding the galaxy that holds the sun, that holds the earth, that holds your sleeping body. It has drifted through your bones quietly, tenderly, leaving nothing disturbed. It has passed through your pillow tonight by the billions, never once asking for your attention, only offering its soft, patient presence. Remember the great cosmic web, those silver threads connecting galaxy to galaxy, cluster to cluster, weaving tenderness across distances too vast for any mind to cradle. You rest at one of its gentle intersections. You have always rested there, lovingly placed, like a flower in a vase older than time. Remember the halos, those wide silver cloaks wrapped around every galaxy, including our own. The Milky Way's halo reaches far, far past the farthest star we know, touching Andromeda's halo in a slow, eternal handshake. You are held within that handshake, tonight and every night. Remember the scientists, those quiet, patient listeners, sitting in underground chambers, above clouds on mountaintops, inside soft libraries lit by single lamps. They are listening for whispers so faint they may take centuries to hear clearly. They are not discouraged. They know that some kinds of beauty arrive softly, in their own time. And you, too, are allowed to arrive softly at your own rest, in your own time. Remember that most of the universe is unseen, unheard, and unhurried. Most of what holds everything together is gentle. Most of what makes a life possible is kind. You are surrounded, cradled, and carried by the unseen, always. And now, on this tender night, you may finally let go, and trust, and drift. And so, dear friend, we come to the softest part of the night. The lanterns of the galaxies are dimming in your mind. The invisible ocean is stilling. Every halo has grown calm around its sleeping galaxy, and every filament of the cosmic web is humming its lowest, gentlest note. You have come a long way tonight. You have wandered tenderly through the vast velvet hush of the cosmos, and now the cosmos is wandering gently back into you. Let your shoulders release. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands rest open, like small flowers closing at evening. Let your breath grow longer, slower, warmer. Let each exhale feel like a soft wave retreating on a moonlit shore, leaving behind nothing but a smooth, glittering stretch of quiet sand. Thank you for spending this slow, peaceful evening with me here at Deep Sleep Science. If these gentle journeys bring you comfort, you are always welcome back. Whenever the world feels loud, whenever sleep feels far away, there is a lantern here waiting for you, glowing warmly at the edge of the quiet forest of night. If you would like to help other tired travelers find their way to this small, soft place, you may gently tap the like button or subscribe whenever it feels right. Not now, not with any hurry. Perhaps tomorrow morning, when the sun has risen softly through your window and birdsong drifts in like tiny silver bells. That little gesture helps these quiet stories reach hearts who may need them tonight. Tomorrow, or many gentle nights from now. For now, you have nowhere to be, nothing to do, no worry to carry. The dark matter of the universe is wrapped around your room like a tender shawl. The stars are keeping watch. The galaxies are humming softly. The night is holding you with infinite kindness. Let your eyes close one last, slow time. Let the world dissolve into gentle, drifting warmth. Good night, and sleep deeply.